Hey guys, my name is Rel. I am going to be giving my presentation for audience research in regards to media audiences. The topic that I chose was media access in relation to success. Now, over the years, our media and the way that we receive our media has completely changed from its original forms. The first example I want to look at is just simply entertainment. We have so many different media forms of entertainment, and it's really at the tip of our fingers in terms of our access to it. We get it when we want it. We have options for on-demand access. There are a lot of subscriptions like Netflix and Hulu, even YouTube, which is a free service. We have different ways to access all the media that we like to see, and it's really just in the palm of our hands with our mobile devices, whether it's your phone, iPad, just any mobile device. We have media right in our hands. Also, the news has really transformed as a whole. A lot of people don't sit in front of the TV and watch and receive their news anymore. We have social sites, so a lot of news channels, have Twitter accounts to where they're giving updates by the minute. A lot of people get their news from other people on social media, whether it's Facebook or Twitter. We often see that you can see just a different perspective when it comes from another person. In regard to our media coverage through news channels, it has to be professional. So I feel like you get a more raw view of what's actually going on in the world when you are seeing it through someone's social network handle. Marketing is a huge difference in our media in comparison as of what it used to be. A lot of companies would advertise through even milk cartons or newspapers or billboards, and although that's still done today, companies are finding that they can reach their consumers better through social media advertisements. So by advertising through social media, whether it's a YouTube ad, whether it's a Google AdSense ad on just somebody's, website where they promote their own business, it's allowing for people to kind of make money at their own pace. It's allowing for a person with a large following to use their platform to give these companies a space to advertise on. So that's definitely changed. So overall, it's just changed in regard to our opportunities that we have. So in regard to the literature review, there were a couple of quotes that I got from some really good articles. Now, when I first started this project, it was solely about media access to those who are living in poverty. So a lot of my research came from that. I kind of wanted to show that side of things before I got to my survey to show how beneficial media access can be. So my first quote says that the FCC voted to scale back a program that actually was helping people who did not have the means to pay for their media access or their online internet at home. So I thought that this was important because it kind of just shows where our government is in terms of helping people succeed. America is known to be a society that's based on capitalism. So, we have the FCC trying to regulate people having internet access when it's a program specifically being made to help people that can't afford the access. It just kind of shows you where we're at in terms of progressing. Now, skipping on, there is another really important quote. I started to get more information on, how challenging it is to get a job without media access and how people normally find jobs. So there's a quote that says, 2015, a career builder survey of more than 2,000 hiring managers and human resources professionals revealed that 52% of employers use social network sites to research job candidates. So what does this mean for people who don't have this internet access? It means that they don't have a way to broadcast themselves online. Or having a resume is one thing and having a cover letter is another thing. But if employers are going to sites like LinkedIn and Facebook to kind of see who you are, who you're connected to, what exactly you're about and how you can benefit their company, and you don't even have access to create a profile, that's already putting you at a disadvantage. So that's kind of the entire point of me choosing this topic. I wanted to show that, it is a problem. It's just another example of people who are not privileged enough to have this type of access in order to get ahead or to even self-educate, to find out what they need to do in order to get to the next level. For my sampling design, I wanted to target people around my age, so between the 21 and 26-year-old stage. I immediately thought of a lot of my college peers and people that I've just met throughout my college career. So a lot of these people have at least some college experience, if not the complete college experience. Some of these people have their masters. Some people just stopped at their bachelor's. Some people went into college for 2 years and decided to leave. I really felt it was important to get this core group of people because I know that our experiences with media is really relevant to this actual research. So yeah, the list included their contact information. And I was also considering different levels of success. So some people who may come from a background of a family with money and other people that may not. These all were questions that I, asked myself in order to select I would say a large range of people to have a good variety. So for the sampling method, I decided to do a simple survey on Google Forms, and it was multiple choice. I did leave an option for other, just in case I didn't include an option for somebody to directly relate to. So the size, of course, 15 to 20 people. I ended up having about 17 people actually participate. And as far as the recruiting, I literally went through my text messages and my contact book and just sent direct links to people, so it could be a super simple process for them in regard to actually just choosing to participate. I wanted it to be something really simple. For the survey and report, I actually broke down my questions into like 3 separate groups. The first area was childhood media usage. So my whole goal in this area was to basically see who grew up using technology, if they always had access to technology, how they learned on technology as a child, and if it was something that was implemented into their daily routine. So as you can see here, 94.1% of people have owned an internet accessible mobile device for most of their life. So that just kind of goes to show you where we are as a society and how it's almost mandatory sometimes for people to have that mobile access to media. And you can do a lot with mobile access to media these days. There's even jobs that you can apply for straight from your mobile device. So I felt like that was something that was really important. The second group I wanted to break down was internet use for job searching in particular. So these results were pretty interesting. A lot of people, did say that their employers required them to, of course, submit a resume, and then a good amount of them said that it was optional for a cover letter to be submitted. But when I asked the question of how people usually discover new job opportunities, 88.2% of people said that they use an online job search engine. So that's kind of the answer that I really was seeking. I wanted to point that out just to show how powerful media usage is and how prevalent it is in helping somebody to succeed. Now, for the last section, I wanted to focus on self-branding. With social media, as I said before, a lot of people have been able to use their own platforms to make money for themselves without really going through having a boss. It's more so companies reaching out to them. So I asked the question of how many people use social media to propel their own business. 52% of people said that they do use it for that purpose. And also 35% of them said that they didn't have a business. So out of the people who do have a business, most of them said that they use social media to propel that. And the last question that I wanted to ask there was if the internet had been fundamental to someone's own success. And no one said no on this one. 35% of people said somewhat, and about 64 said that it has. So this is a very important question for me to get an answer to, because it kind of just summarizes my entire point of the research project, that it's really hard to get ahead in today's society without having that, without having a reference to find new information, without having a platform to, type up your experience. media access is it's important overall. So when I initially started this project, of course, it was based on people who didn't have this access. And that's kind of what this research is meant to do, meant to change. I think it would be really awesome to present information such as this to our government, for example, so we can show people why it's important for everybody to have equal access to the media. We should all have that same opportunity. So I hope that this inspired you in some way to make a change for us all to have equal access to the media.